Hello there, good night to you all. So, I will now continue my anime pickup that I just finished watch. And I just finished watching today during the afternoon. I finished the second season of Mobile Suit Gundam WO that the second season aired between 5th of October of 28 until 29 of March of 29, and just a couple minutes ago I watched the movie sequel of the second season called Mobile Suit Gundam WO, The Wakening of the Trailblazer. Uh, that was released in 18th of September of 2010. Uh, just referring that this, like the previous Gundam Seed series, also has a special edition of a movie uh, of 3 episodes that basically is a resume of the first and the second season. And they were released between these three OVA slash movies were released between 27 of October of 29 until 23 of February of 2010. And in a way, like they did in Gundam Seed, this is they kind of cut some scenes, they redo some other scenes, they cutted some scenes at some point and then pasted them later on the episode and such. But on the overall, these three special editions gave us some more in depth in some scenes, but they cutted others and such. But like always, I highly recommend that if you watch season 1 and then season 2 before watching the movie that basically finishes the saga so far, I recommend that you also watch the Mobile Suit Gundam WO special edition because it had some more information at some points in the story but did not change the story on the overall. But well, now on my thoughts to the second season. Like, if you have already watched my video about final impressions about the first season, you probably will notice that, well, I like the series, I think the series is interesting, but and I like several features of that first season, but it was not as amazing as was for me watching, for instance, Gundam Seed. However, this second season for me it's a lot more better. The characters are a lot more developed. A great part of characters that appeared on the first season also return in this second one, and like I have read, Asajj Crossroad and Louisa Elvey did have a big role during this season, alongside Ribbon Zalmark, that was basically the great antagonist in this season as the leader of the innovators and the final villain that was defeated by Setsuna Fc after he himself became a true innovator on the last episodes of the series. So, well, this series basically portrays it begins after 4 years after the end of the first season about the humanity mankind was reunited in a federation, the Earth Federation, and this Earth Federation kind of created a special branch that deals with rebels or oppositors of the new Federation government called a laws. And we also have the regular federal army, obviously. But the main antagonists in a great part of the season are the soldiers and the group called a laws. And they have a lot of battles against pilots that serve under a laws. Um, but then they save, for instance, they save Alleluia Baptism that was captured after the final battle in the first season. They free him from jail alongside Marina Ismail, the crown princess of Azabistan, and then Alleluia assumes the command of Cherubim Gundam. Uh, Sashi Crossroads eventually became the pilot of the WO Racer, and he fights to retrieve or to recover his fiancée Louise Elvie from the control of Elos. During the season, we learn that behind Elos is the group formed by Ribbon's Outmark at the end of the first season, called the Innovators. That basically they see themselves as the new step in the evolution of mankind, and that especially Ribbon's Allmark, he kind of feels that he has the duty of become kind of the god of the world and rule the world as he see fit. Then he also creates other innovators, and the most interesting of them for me is Regele, that basically is a clone of Thierry. Uh, and well, they fight against the laws. Then they fight against the innovators, and at the end of the seasons, Setsuna is able to defeat Ribbon's Hallmark, and eventually he becomes a full-fledged innovator, and basically A-Laws is disbanded at the end due to the crimes they committed during all the season, and all the time they were the military forces of the Federation, and because they ordered massacres and such, and they use a satellite weapon to fire in countries and destroying all countries and all fleets. We have also an organization that appears during the great part of the series called Cataron, that is basically a group that basically assembles all the opposition forces to the new Federation government and especially opposes a laws alongside Celestial Being. We have the disappearance of great characters. For instance, Colonel Smirnov dies during this season. We also have the introduction of his son called Andrei Smirnov, that eventually he dies during the movie The Wakening of the Trailblazer, in the battle against a race of aliens that appears in Jupiter. And basically this is the contact that Aelia Schenberg kinda feared and intended to prepare mankind to contact them, and eventually in the movie Setsuna does understand the reasons why they came to our solar system, because their own planet was dying, and he kinda make, at the end of the movie, he kinda go to that planet and after the credits in the movie, we see him returning to Earth uh, a long couple of years after the movie ends, because the movie happens 2 years after the end of the second season. And there is a group of aliens that appear in Jupiter that threatens Earth, and we have again the crew of the Ptolemies 2 assembles and fight against this invasion, and eventually Setsuna does understand that he needs to go to the planet of this alien race to understand them and to become one with them. And we can see that after the end of the credits in the movie, when he returns to Earth to visit Marina, that by now is an old woman, so a lot of years have passed. And we also see that they are preparing a great expedition in space that will be led by Klaus, that is the leader of Kataron during the second season. And when we see him, he is also an old man. So this was, well, this return to Earth happened a lot of years after uh, um, the end of the second season. So um, the second season and the movie, they were very good in terms of story, in terms of character development. They develop a lot more and a lot better the characters, the antagonists, the heroes. I kind of do feel that in this second season, finally Setsuna kind of became a good hero alongside Celestial Being, and the kind of the negative vision I had of Celestial Being from season one kinda, I will not say it was erased, but it was uh, minored, and I have um, in the end of the seasons I do see them on a different light. Ah, sorry for that. Um, then the soundtrack was fantastic um, in the second season. The animations, the battle animations, they already did it on the first season, but in the second season they exceed themselves, and also during the movie. So it was fantastic. It was one of my favorite characters in the second season, and then in the movie was Graham Haker, or known as Mr. Bushido in the second season. He was one of my favorite characters, and he eventually sacrifices his life in the movie to allow Setsuna to enter the mind of the space invaders and open the path for Setsuna enters inside this hive mind and establish contact with this race. So, well, both the season and the movie, they were great. They give us closure to the story of Gundam WO. I like I did say on my final video, that they did it on the Anno Domini chronology, or our own chronology, uh, 300 years in the future. It was a very interesting futuristic vision that they did. I like that aspect. Um, I don't know if they are planning to do another Mobile Suit Gundam WO, but I don't know if they intend to do it or not. Nonetheless, it was a great series. I honestly feel that this series um, surpasses the Seed and Seed Destiny clearly, in my opinion, in terms of soundtrack, in terms of animation, and even in terms of story and plotline and character development and such. Uh, so I say again, I highly recommend that if you do not have the opportunity to watch this series, Mobile Suit Gundam WO, I highly recommend that you watch it and watch its first season, second season, the special edition, and then the anime movie, The Wakening of the Trailblazer, that basically finishes this saga. So, and that's it. These are my final impressions on Mobile Suit Gundam WO second season and the Awakening of the Trailblazer. I also will not rate this series because I feel that you need to give this series their own ratings according to your own ideas and your own opinions after watching the series. I only say that this series, for me, even if I was not very highly impressed on the first season, the second season definitely made a great impact. It was done brilliantly alongside the movie Awakening of the Trailblazer. It gives us closure to the story. So developed very well the characters, the story, the concept of the universe of Anno Domini. So, well, that's it. These are my final impressions on the second season of Gundam CWO and the Awakening of the Trailblazer. Hope you enjoyed the video. Stay well. Peace. See you soon. And thanks for watching as always. And if you have your own ideas, comments, thoughts on after if you already watched the series, tell me what you think. If you do not watch, tell me if you are, for instance, thinking on watching the series. That's all. Now I will go. Stay well, peace, thanks for watching, and see you soon.